agenda tonight. We start with public comment, and as I do each meeting, I will read the following statement. The public comment portion of the meeting is an opportunity to listen to residents' feedback and concerns, but the public comment portion of the meeting is not meant to be a question and answer format. There will be no response to any public comment when presented. The public comment portion of the meeting is limited to 15 minutes total and up to 3 minutes per speaker. Those that wish to speak should stand at the microphone and wait to be recognized by the chair. Please state your name and what town you live in. You do not need to give your address. I would ask that all members of our audience to be respectful of each speaker as well as each other. Anyone who does not wish to speak or who is unable to speak due to the time limit may submit their comments in writing for the board's review and consideration. So with that being said, we will start public comment at 7:04. And I will go to that side first.
That's for the,
I'm not sure if they can hear you.
that's for the,
Yep.
that's for the TV.
Okay. First, Liza Colburn, Canton resident. I'm happy that you're doing these meetings again in person. I think that's really important for the community. I'm just going to share some really important voting information for people because we don't do a lot of publicity in the town about the upcoming election. On April 8th is our next Canton town election, and there are multiple ways that you can vote. First off, if you want to vote by mail, you must submit a new application every year. Some people don't know that. So you'll need to submit a new request for 2025. And the deadline to do that for this town election is April 1st at 5 p.m. You can apply through the Secretary of State's online mail-in ballot application system, and our town clerk website is also really useful. Then early voting starts next Saturday on March 29th. You can go to Town Hall on any of these days to vote in person for early voting. On Saturday the 29th, 9 to 5, Monday the 31st, 8 to 5, Tuesday, April 1st, 8 to 7 p.m. for people who are commuting and want to come later. Wednesday, April 2nd, 8 to 5, Friday, April 4th, 8 to 1. And of course, you can vote on election day in person at your polling place. The polls are open 7 to 8 p.m. Also, the Canton Voter Guide website is really useful and has links to register to vote, to request to vote by mail, and to find your polling location. The CantonVoterGuide.com also has links to watch the recent candidate forums, including the select board forum. I know you talked about approving the hours, but I just wanted to reiterate the voting details. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Colburn. I wonder if you'd share that with Mr. Duty, since I just asked him. Did you write all that down?
I got it. I'll do it again later. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Can you hear me?
Tap it again just to make sure.
That's just for the, that's for the TV.
So can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Brenda Sweeney, Canton resident. My humble opinion. I'm feeling philosophical today. Just some food for thought to simmer in your minds. Denial. Denial is not a river in Egypt. Denial is a sanctuary your mind seeks out to keep you safe so you don't have to face reality. There's a ton of denial on all different levels. Denial because you can't believe something would even be possible. Denial because you don't want to believe something happened. Denial because that person you know would never do that. Denial because you're friends with someone for a long time and that can't change. Denial because you like the way things have always been and you'll do anything to keep it that way. Denial because it makes someone else happy. Denial because it gives you power. Denial because it gets you a seat at the table. Denial because your family is more important than everyone else's. Denial because you're scared. Denial because it's easier. Denial because otherwise you look bad. Denial because you're now forced to choose one outcome over another, so you choose what works for you. Denial because it's been so long you can't change your story now. Maybe you're only denying one little thing, no biggie, right? Lots of reasons for denial. We all know. Everyone listening knows their own ability to choose denial over the truth. The truth can be painful. The truth can be damaging. The truth will change your reality, and on and on and on. Some people choose to ignore what they know, deny what happened, look the other way, to hide in the shadows and let someone else suffer. They say the truth will set you free, but denial has consequences. Denial is a beast that's always hungry. It gnaws away at your soul, and it's a weight you carry everywhere. Denial may get you through the day, but the truth makes it easier to sleep at night. Denial and the truth are joined at the hip by something called karma. You may think you're safe in that space called denial, but don't be fooled. Karma doesn't need to look you up. She knows you. She has your number. She knows where you live. When you tell the truth, you don't have to look over your shoulder every day waiting to see if this will be the day karma comes knocking. Some people have no conscience. They can deny till the cows come home and never break a sweat. The real question is, are you that person, or do those thoughts keep creeping back into your mind? Are you looking over your shoulder? Are you starting to limp from all that extra weight? Or are you walking around proud and tall with nothing to hide because the truth is on your side? Denial is like a house of cards. Sooner or later, it will collapse. It's always better to be in the clear when that happens. That's it. Just a little food for thought. Thank you.
Jennifer O'Donnell. I actually didn't want to stand up here or speak, but I don't understand how we're not asking the question. Like, Helena Rafferty walked the O'Keeffes into the courtroom. She's been hiding in the police station for almost a year, and her one outing from the police station was to walk the O'Keeffes in, and this has nothing to do with the O'Keeffes. It has to do with a public perception, and everyone's narrative is that we who support Karen Reed are swaying the public perception and tainting the jury pool. The chief of police from the town of Canton, if you're not going to stand up and be the chief of police and address the public when they're asking you for something, you showing up at court sends a strong message, and that sure as hell taints a jury pool. My only other comment that I wanted to ask is, how are we not addressing that Chris Albert is recording citizens and is once again back in the spotlight? He seems to be very involved in this case, yet he still gets to sit on the board. He's a public figure who is using our resources to bring citizens to court to flex his abuse of the town resources. He is far from a sensitive witness who he is in such a public role. If you are having such a strong time and a hard time at home, you need to pull back. You need to not be representing our town because it's hurting our town. It's causing a circus to come to our town. Citizens did not know that they were being recorded both with audio and visual.
Please be quiet.
Yep. My moment. I don't know what the legal law is, but I do think that if it's being used in the public court form to prosecute witnesses for witness intimidation or people for going after him because he's so protected as a witness in this fucking case, get off the board. You're part of the case. Pick one side. You can't do both, and we can't all sit here and support him doing both. It's one or the other. He's protected as a witness in this case and using our resources at his will, or he's a select board member using his resources for the town. Which is it? But he can't do both. So I don't understand why no one came up to the microphone to ask that. And I don't know if I have time, and I don't care if I have time, because I just didn't understand why no one would ask those questions.
Thank you, Ms. O'Donnell.
Rita Lombardi. Canton will hold its annual town election on Tuesday, April 8th. There are two candidates for select board. Since 1989, John Conley has been a member of the select board. After 35 years on the select board, he is seeking re-election for another 3-year term. Dr. Susan Harrington, a successful veterinarian who owned and operated a business in Randolph for 27 years, is also running for a select board seat. While she sold her business, she continues to work there. Susan Harrington has been a Canton resident for over 30 years. She has been an invaluable volunteer in our Canton schools. As a successful business owner, doctor, wife, and mother of 3 grown adult children who attended the Canton Public Schools, she designed and sewed costumes for the school productions for over 20 years and continues to do so long after her children graduated. Susan's commitment to our community has been immeasurable. Throughout her career and volunteer work, she has earned the trust and respect from so many students. She is a role model to our community and one that many would be wise to emulate. At the forum last week, we heard from both Susan and John. John shared that he was proud to stand on his record, that actions speak louder than words, that family comes first. He also shared that the police oversight is the responsibility of the town administrator, not the select board, which is rather curious. Effective leaders take responsibility not only for successes, but for failures. During John's tenure on the select board, there were serious incidents in this town that he would have been aware of. In 1994, Chris Albert was involved in a fatal hit and run. From all accounts, the charges and convictions have the classifications of a felon. In 2007, Canton settled a civil rights lawsuit against the Canton Police Department and Michael Lank after Chris Albert activated his direct hotline to Officer Lank, leading to an altercation with local business owners. This altercation resulted in the town of Canton being sued for civil rights violations from Officer Mike Lank in the town, and they settled out of court for $300,000. The confidential settlement stated that Officer Lank would never be promoted. Yet throughout the years, the select board supported his many promotions, including the recent one to lieutenant. In 2022, Chris Albert decided to run for select board. Despite the citizens' concerns raised about his candidacy, some stemming from 1994 hit and run and the 2007 settlement, and some from financial mismanagement, John Connolly supported his candidacy to the select board. Actions do speak louder than words. We heard you, John. You have lifelong relationships with many in this town, but that has caused a bias. And I understand that working with people for a long time, we all work, and the people that we work with become our family.
Thank you, Ms. Lombardi.
I just wanted to say that the people who can't.
So please state your name.
Oh, Gilda McGonigal.
Thank you.
10 Partridge Way, Canton. So it was more than just John Connolly that supported Chris Albert. It was the Canton voters who voted for him and elected him. I wanted to say thank you to John Connolly because since he presided over the town for 35 years, he's also seen to it that we have the lowest property tax rate of any contiguous town, lower than Milton, lower than Norwood, lower than Stoughton, Randolph, Westwood, Norwood. I might have said that twice, sorry. He's worked so that Canton has a AAA bond rating, which is in the top 1% of all the US cities and towns. This allows us to borrow at a very low rate. So it helps us when we're building things like a new Galvin Middle School. John has helped and overseen the beautification and redevelopment of Canton Reservoir. He's expanded and redeveloped the Galvin Middle School. He's developed the Irish Cultural Center. He's seen to the conversion of the Knights of Columbus to the Canton Senior Center. He's overseen the development of a new Canton High School. He's overseen the conversion of Elliott School to the state-of-the-art Canton Police Department. He has overseen the renovation of Canton Town Hall, the renovated Canton Fire Department headquarters, the renovation of the Canton DPW, the development of the Butch Pasquara Administration Building, the creation of a senior tax rebate program, the development of Paul Revere Park and construction of Paul Revere Village residences, and the development of new Canton Library, not to mention the restructure and rebuilding of our treasured skating rink. Thank you.
You've got 1 minute, sir.
Excellent. Mr. Chairman, I just want to,
State your name and
Nicholas Corkery, Canton, Mass. I want to make two
Oh
statements.
no,
One,
this guy again.
the citizens of Canton.
Oh no, this
so
guy.
Dissatisfied with the performance of Mr. Albert. Recall him. Stop heckling him. Do something about it, whatever it is. Next time he's up for an election, don't vote for him, whatever. But this is consistently the same old every week. So unless they're going to do something about it, I don't know what to tell them. In regards to Michael Lank, who happens to be one of my best friends, he is a good police officer. He's been promoted for doing good things for Canton. If you look up his record over and above what's been alluded to, he's done quite a bit for Canton. We're grateful for him.
all right. That concludes our public comment period, 7:19. We will move on to the agenda.